Hello everyone, it's the Creative One. I hope everybody is doing well today. So this video is going to be about Ashlee Jenae. Her real name is Ashlee Robinson, but she went by Ashlee Jenae. So this young woman is a social media influencer. Unfortunately, she died on April 10th in Zanzibar, Tanzania when she was on a trip with her fiance, Joe McCann. So this is a very, very sad and unfortunate story about this young woman. So she had recently got engaged to her fiance, who is a wealthy man. He is a founder and the CEO of a company called Asymmetric, which is a cryptocurrency company. So he was very well off, doing very well financially. The type of person she is on social media, like she lives that life, where she wants to be spoiled and taken care of by, a wealthy man, which, there's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, shit, it is what it is. But unfortunately, she was found dead in April 10th at a resort in Zanzibar, Tanzania. Her fiance claims that she committed suicide. The causes of her death is strangulation or suffocation. I guess they're trying to say that she has stopped breathing, but it's kind of up in the air. They're still investigating. They're still saying they don't really know what happened. I personally think that her fiance, Joe McCann, has something to do with it. There's reports saying that, that they had an altercation on April the 8th. Something about she had called her mother and told her things that were going on, and he called her mom. Something about they had some kind of altercation and that they went to separate rooms. I believe that she was dating this man and he was her boyfriend for about a year before they had got engaged. Like I say, they're all on social media, like she's a kind of person, kind of like an Instagram model, dates wealthy men, wants to live the lavish, luxurious life, wants to be taken care of. So this situation is very sad and heartbreaking. This young woman was only 31 years old. It's very sad, as I think her birthday had just passed. They were saying that her birthday had just passed. I think that's the reason why they had went to the trip on Tanzania, I believe. But this is very unfortunate. A lot of people are saying, well, that's what happens when you date white men and this and that. I'm not going to make this, a race thing. I mean, black men kill white women. There's white men who kill white women. I mean, anybody can do that. So I'm not, going to make this a race thing. I'm not against interracial dating, in any form. I believe, we're all people. Anybody could do anything at the end of the day. But this situation is very, very sad. Some people are, saying like, oh, that his company, was losing a lot of money last year, that it was doing good in 2024, but in 2025 that a lot of these crypto companies were crashing, and maybe, it was some hostility between them because of that. I don't know. Like I say, I'm sure this relationship was mostly based on his money and, her being taken care of and traveling and things like that. But this is very unfortunate. I mean, please be careful, whoever you are, a man or a woman, please be careful going out of the country. You're out of your comfort zone. You don't speak the language. You don't really know anything about the place. You don't really know how to get around like that. It's just a very foreign place. You know what I mean? Please be careful. Please make sure you know the person very, very well before you go out of the country with them. I mean, going out of the country, that's a whole different thing. Like, in the U.S., going out of state, that's one thing, but going out of the country, that's just a whole nother thing. That's kind of like a whole nother world, you know? So, please be careful. It's like you're out of your comfort zone. You don't know anyone. You can't just call up a friend or a family member and be like, hey, come pick me up, or I have a problem, like you're just way somewhere else. Who knows, like the person that you're going with, they could have something already set up, or they could know people in that country and they could have a motive. Shit, you just never ever know. I mean, maybe it would have been good if she would have went with a couple people, or maybe like another couple, or, took a few friends with her or something. I mean, I don't know. But this, situation is very sad. R.I.P. Ashlee. I personally do think that Joe McCann has something to do with it. In my personal opinion, I think that he definitely does. The police, they're still investigating things. But as far as I know, they're trying to say her cause of death is strangulation or suffocation. But they're still trying to investigate how that even happened. Ashlee, she was found dead in her resort hotel. She was sent to the hospital, and then she died at the hospital on April 10th, unfortunately. But they're saying that Joe McCann, that he didn't even reach out to her parents or her family. Her family said they found out she was dead through the hotel, that they told her, or the resort, they had broke the news to them and told them that she passed away. They asked, I seen a clip where they asked Ashlee's parents if they think Joe has something to do with it. It didn't really seem like they wanted to say yes or no to that question. They were saying, they pretty much said that they really don't know, and that they're just still waiting on the investigation. But as far as Joe, I guess he's trying to say something about she committed suicide, but I don't believe that. I definitely think he has something to do with it. I wasn't there, I don't know what happened, but in my opinion, this story doesn't sound right. I think he's definitely guilty of something. I don't understand why this girl would just commit suicide. And then I know in the whole sugar daddy situation, or, when women date wealthy men, I know that men do have, some animosity towards that, like they act like, oh, I'm cool with spending money on you and, this and that. But sometimes, it's more to it than that. I think when a man is your sugar daddy or spending money on you, I think that they have an agenda, or I think is, that they just, feel a lot that they're not really expressing to you. And then they, feel like, well, if my money runs out, or, whatever, she's gone. So, and that's a pretty shitty feeling. So, I mean, who knows what happened between these two? As far as I know, it was no kind of domestic violence between them. Like I said, the mother said that she did call her April 8th saying that they had an altercation. I don't know if that altercation got physical. I don't know if it was just verbal, but something definitely happened. But it's really, really sad. Like you just never know, like, when is going to be your last day. And, this traveling out the country is very, very risky. It's scary. Like, please be careful traveling with people, anybody. If you can, try to go with a couple people, a few people. I mean, I guess it's okay just going with one partner, like a husband, boyfriend, whatever. But I say maybe try to go with a couple close people that you really, really know. But yeah, this situation is really sad. R.I.P. Ashlee. Like I said, they saying that Joe, that he's not, that he hasn't really said too much about Ashlee, that he's been on X, talking about shit about crypto, that, he seems like he's not really compassionate about the situation. And then, like I said earlier, her parents found out that she was dead through the resort. It wasn't even through him. So this is very unfortunate. I hope that they investigate him. They really, really need to investigate that man. I personally feel like he has something to do with Ashlee's death. who knows what's going to happen at the end of the day. It's all about what you can prove. And he's wealthy, so I'm pretty sure he can have, some pretty good lawyers. But I hope he doesn't get away with this. I definitely feel like, he has something to do with Ashlee's death. But this is very unfortunate. My prayers go out to Ashlee's family and her loved ones. Like I said, in my opinion, I definitely think Joe McCann had something to do with it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.